Welcome back to the Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl Countdown. So today on the countdown, I want to go through and kind of break down some things that you might have missed in the trailer. I've gone through and I've kind of highlighted a bunch of stuff that are fun and interesting, and it's something that I want to talk about in general throughout the entire trailer. So we'll start out with the first little scene we get is, of course, the various shots of the startup of the old game, which is great, very nostalgic for me. Fun fact, we see a DS there. I actually played on a DS Lite, so I didn't actually ever play on a DS, so that's very interesting, but still very nostalgic. And then we move on to the first scene of the game. We get the first scene of the Dino Pro remakes, which we've been waiting for years. Well, we get Dawn in our bedroom in this new chibi style. Now, I know not a lot of people are big fans of this. I know that it was very difficult at first for a lot of people to get used to this. When the trailer cut to it, most of us were freaking out, like, what the frick's this? Honestly, now that I've been looking at the trailer for a week, it's not bad. I don't think it's bad. I think it actually looks relatively decent, and the fact that I've looked at the rest of the trailer, the game itself looks beautiful. The shaders and the detail in the overworld is just spot on and amazing. That the chibi style kind of melds into the background, and honestly, even at that best, they still look cute, right? They still look nice, so I'm still excited to try out. It gives it kind of a unique thing from the rest of the remakes themselves. So this will be an interesting thing. I'm glad to see that, they're going to try something different with it. But then the other things in the room that I want to talk about is really just a Switch on the ground, which is awesome. Last time we were in Diamond Pearl, we had a Wii. And now we have a Switch, and it's just detail that it's nice detail that it's on the ground. And there's a Joy-Con pulled off, which it looks really, really nice. I'm hoping that they did kind of similar to like the Let's Go games, where like depending on the Joy-Con's colors you have clicked into your Switch, that it changes in game. So maybe they'll do that for this one. I don't know. I don't know. It would be interesting nonetheless. The next few shots we kind of go through and we do some panning shots of Twin Leaf Town and Jubilife and Floraroma, which is really, really awesome. I love how they look. We get a bunch of sprites from the other trainers that we have not seen, which they look cool. And then something I really want to mention in Floraroma Town is the fact that there is a glass door on the Pokemart. Something that I don't think anybody really noticed, none the least, but it looks really, really cool. Gives the Pokemart a different feel. You can see the floor from the outside, which is awesome. So I'm assuming you might even be able to see the Mart people from the outside. So really nice touch there. And then we move on to a moving shot of Route 202, of course, where we get into a transition, a very nice transition, with the leaves and the grass poking up for a battle. Of course, we get in a battle with a Shinx, and Lucas sends out either, Piplup, Chimchar, or Turtwig. And we get various battle scenes, of course, with a Bidoof and Geodude, which could be in Ravage Path, Orberg Gate, Orberg Mine. There's a bunch of fun little things there. And the starters use their elemental moves, so it's nice to see that maybe early on we will have those available like they started doing in Gen 7, which is awesome. And then we kind of move on to Barry coming out of his house. And of course, have to have the famous thud text box. I'm really, really happy this returned. It's just a small thing, but honestly, it's very nostalgic, and I'm happy to see that such a simple little thing is going to be back. Just a fun thing. Barry is my favorite rival, like, ever. I know he's kind of just wild and crazy. That's why he's my favorite rival. He sets apart from the rest of them. He's kind of like Hal, I guess, but a little more crazy, I think. But I'm really excited to see that. And of course, we get into a battle with Barry next, which happens to be the second battle, actually, because he has a Starly. And then we go over to Lake Verity, where we come in with Barry. We see Professor Rowan, which I'm heckin' excited to see him back. Really, really fun. And then I want to mention that the water shaders here in Lake Verity are amazing. They reflect things so nicely. I kind of want this water shader from Minecraft, none the least. It's awesome looking, so I'm excited to see what they have for like the rest of the region, especially the other lakes too. Whether they're going to be that well, they will be that reflective, but then again, like how are we going to explore them? That's going to be really cool to see. Then we go on to Valley Windworks, Lower Oberg, and Lower Snowpoint. A couple things I want to point out here is that it must be Friday in Valley Windworks because Drifloon appears, which is awesome to see. If that small touch will be back as well, so you can get into Battle with Drifloon every Friday outside Valley Windworks. And then of course we see the honey tree as well in the background of that shot, which is a nice touch to see that mechanic is going to come back. Then we go over to Orberg where we see the miner, and there's a bunch of hidden items in that dirt to the left actually, in Platinum. So it's possible that they might try to include a bunch of the mechanics and hidden items from Platinum in these games, so that way it feels a little bit more complete and more considering of Platinum itself, so we don't like have Platinum fade into non-existence really. In the Lower Snowpoint we have some nice little footprints in the snow, which is really cool, and of course we have the crane to the right there. It looks really awesome. Then we kind of move on to some like more multiplayer focused scenes. We go through the trade battle room, which might be more online now. Interesting that Diamond and Pearl did introduce online to Pokemon, and so of course this time around it'll be less clunky, which is nice. So hopefully we'll have some more multiplayer focused things for online this time. And that also comes into this other underground shot that we see that maybe we could play online capture the flag in more like, oh, we can see each other actually. That would be really cool. Then we move on to a bunch of various battle scenes and some sort of like a deluge of montage of whatever you want to say of battles. We start out with battling a camper who normally has a Ponyta. I looked it up. Interesting enough, I looked it up. But then it cuts to another battle though. We have a cave battle with Lucario and Garchomp. Now, I was interested to see by this Garchomp. I wondered who had a Garchomp besides Cynthia, and I couldn't find anybody that had a Garchomp. Now, this could be on like maybe the battle area, but I couldn't find anybody that has a Garchomp. The closest people that I found to it were the Dragon Tamers in Victory Road. A couple of them have Gabites, so I'm wondering if they made one of them harder this time around. So one of them has a Garchomp instead. So that'd be interesting. It's obviously not Cynthia because it would be in like, you know, the 84. So I don't know. It's interesting at least. But then we directly jump cut to a Croagunk versus an Ambipom and a Kricketune. And Croagunk's using Sludge Bomb. Of course, you have Kricketune maybe using Bug Buzz on Ambipom. And then we jump directly to a Staraptor who is using a amazing looking Brave Bird that just shoots right up into the air with a flame of death. Really, it's really that. It's just death. And then of course we see Floatzel use Protect. We don't know if the Staraptor is fighting this Floatzel or not, but it still looks awesome. And of course we jump to a Lucario using Aura Sphere, and then finally a Porygon Z using Hyper Beam on that Garchomp that we saw before. It's hard to see that it is a Garchomp, but if you pause at the right moment you can see Garchomp there, which is awesome. And of course we go on to the final scene with the Palkia Dialga statue in Eterna City as a way to hint to the lore. So honestly, this game looks awesome. I'm not going to diss it by any means. I'm really excited for this. I'm almost more excited for this than I am for Legends Arceus. That's probably because Legends Arceus is still a long time away. But I'm really excited for these games. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. And in the future countdowns, I'm going to talk more and more about different areas and different aspects of the story, because we're not going to have a ton of information like revealed to us about this, because we already know a lot. So there really isn't too much to say, but I do want to talk about every area in detail and just have some fun with that. So I'm excited to get into more of this kind of speculation stuff on the countdown instead of like, oh, we know information wise. We will do information wise, of course, when that comes out. But for right now, we don't know when we're going to get another trailer. It may not be until June for all I know. So, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.